Hi, it's Alexander, and I'm here with Flavius. Welcome, Flavius.
Hello, Alex.
What's the reason that we're here? What's some good news in your business
Oh,
lately?
well, it's been a while, but I am able now to get consistent revenue with my business, and I'm actually becoming more or less of an expert, not expert, but knowing what you're doing more or less.
How well is your business doing now, and what type of business do you run?
So I will say it's a marketing agency, but it's not actually developed. I'm working on building it as an agency. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm helping people with Facebook ads, building funnels for them, and with a high touch on webinar funnels. That means including building the webinar system. That means I know the pages, email campaigns, everything that comes with it, integrations, everything, plus giving coaching on the webinar itself in order to make it work, of course.
So, Facebook ads and funnel agency, basically.
Yes.
What have your sales been like lately?
I was able to do consistently 7 to 8K per month. And last month, I was able to pull 11.5K, which
Yeah.
was a record for me. So it was one of the best months. So
Oh, awesome. Well, congratulations. It's pretty good.
thank
Isn't it
you.
supposed to be a difficult month because it's the summer and there's a pandemic? And how has it been for you?
Usually in the summer, to be very honest, based on my experience, there is when you most of the clients are coming in, surprisingly. And I won't say, the pandemic, based on what I'm doing, right? Facebook ads for lead generation mostly. I don't really had issues with the corona, so it didn't affected me at all.
How did you start your business? Was it in BMI? I think it was, right?
Yes, actually, it was DBH, so
Oh,
it's funny.
okay.
Let's take a step back. So my education is an engineer, right? I finished the engineering college, and I worked as an engineer, as a project manager, more or less for a while, until I decided that I don't like it and I want to do something with my life. In the end, it was Vlad, right? When I know from him, and I knew that he was doing some good stuff, and then I said I can do it too, right? Why not? And then I started digging and finding opportunities, right? So that was when I decided, I'm gonna quit my job.
Okay. So your friend in BMI told you I have a business, and you're like, I can do that too. This flat guy is not that smart.
Well, it's not really like that. It's more of an, I didn't have, being in Romania and being in this college environment, you don't really pull your head off, right, to see what everybody's doing. You don't have this overview picture. Now, Vlad was for me like, okay, there is something better out there. It's not like I want to fight Vlad or something, right? It's just like there is something better. He's doing it, so how I can do it too? Because now I saw the opportunity, right?
And what have you learned in back then DVH, now BMI? What have you learned in terms of business? Because you had zero business experience, as you've said, right?
Yes, absolutely zero. Now, I learned everything from the basics on how to manage my time, which, yeah, these are the main basic, how to manage my time and leave aside or leave behind all the things that are not good for me or are not focusing on my growth, right?
Hmm.
Going into the mindset thing where just setting some goals and know what you want to do with your life and go into that direction. So that this is the foundation. Besides the foundation, I learned how to actually sell a service, a marketing service, what is a marketing service, sell a marketing service, how to find clients for this marketing service, and how to deliver great results
Hmm.
consistently and absolutely build processes around it and keep these clients as long as possible and keep them happy so we can actually build this agency we are talking about.
How many mentors have you had while you were, well, you're still building it, of course, but while you were building it up till now, how many mentors have you had?
It's hard to say a number, but what is very nice here is that everybody's sharing, right? So I will say that half of the members of the group were my mentors. Of course, we have those calls where you can ask questions, and that's great. But besides that, every time I found something useful in a post, or we were just talking about the lighting here. So I just saw that and I just bought it, right? So always look. To answer very short and briefly, I feel like I took something for each one of colleagues, let's say like this, because we're all members, right?
How did you learn lead generation and sales from BMI?
Starting with the course, of course, the course, of course. Now, It was the initial setup where you learn the basics on how to do it, and then based on that trainings and seeing how you should properly doing, have that systemized way of doing it, and then just experience, do the sales calls, ask for feedback, and improve every time consistently, so you can actually get better at it.
In terms of your agency, how did you get your agency to deliver good results to clients?
I just outsourced everything in the beginning, and very transparent. I got burned because I didn't really know what I was doing. And then I decided I have to understand how to do it in order to check, okay, if other people are doing good or bad. So basically, I started on doing it myself, and I become very good at it. And right now, I'm just outsourcing, let's call it outsource parts of the projects, like the smaller tasks. And I'm dealing with the high decision-making tasks and the strategy part from all the campaigns.
Well, how many team members do you have?
I just have one virtual assistant that is actually helping me with a bunch of stuff, starting from lead generation, of course, like lead generation part, just helping me acquiring clients, and small tasks with projects like reports and doing some standardized things.
And how many clients do you have?
So right now, 5 clients.
5, okay. And what are you working on in your agency? So you got your first 12K month, your normal month is $7,000 to $8,000 in revenue. So what's happening now?
My main thing is making more space for me. This means systemize and create standardized processes in order to release myself from the low value tasks, right? Like I don't want to do reports. I don't want to do, accountability. Like there are a bunch of things that are taking my time, and I'm not able to focus on the higher strategy. So basically, I'm trying to delegate those things in order for me to focus and actually bring real value to the current clients, which 2 of them are very, very big. So I see the cost of the opportunity here. So if I'm able to bring a lot of results, that means develop myself and do a very, very good job for them. There is a lot of opportunity for the future. So basically, to wrap it up, I'm working on improving myself, the marketing that I'm doing, and I'm doing that by freeing time and delegating part of the stuff that I'm doing.
So what were your ideas before you joined? Like, what were you doubtful about before you joined? Because you maybe like, oh, is this gonna work? Or like, what were you thinking before you joined?
This is a very, very good point. And I'm glad you asked this. For some reasons, when I took the decision to do it, one of my strengths, let's call it like this, is that I'm thinking at the thing, and then I take radical decisions on it, right? I don't think 2 times, right? I do it, and then I put everything into it and do it. This was one strong point in joining BMI and starting something totally new, because basically I deleted 6 years of college, right? And I won't say I deleted, because I learned so many things in college, right? Doing an engineering school helped me a lot with the processes part, doing like a lot of volunteering. So it definitely helped sharpen my skills in order to start this, but it was just like a tough decision, right? You have to leave that thing that your parents are teaching you, and hey, I'm proud my son is an engineer. Yeah, that's great, but it's it's not doing much, right? So I had to leave leave that aside. But to answer your questions, I could say scared, and not necessarily scared because you're young and you don't care, right? It's working, it's not working, you move on, right? It's more of an very skeptical, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just looking and hear like, I mean, this guy made this amount of money. This guy made this amount of money. Of course, the money is what everybody's looking as a success, right? But it's not always about the money, but it's an anchor, right? That you choose. Now, looking at this anchor and looking at the fact that I was making $500, $550 per month, right? With a possibility of moving maybe to $1,000 per month if working full time. Yeah, the job.
Job as engineer. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, of course, I was skeptical and scared and didn't know what to do. But what was very helpful for me was the fact that I knew that I don't like what I was doing. So even if I was doing something for $300, right, it still won't be the same thing that I was doing then, because I just didn't like it and I was not feeling happy. So what I will say is that if you're not happy what you're doing, and you consider that this might bring you a benefit, right? And you see the opportunity in there, just do it and see after it's working, is not working. So one, yeah, I was skeptical. Second, it was this limitation on leaving everything that I was doing and just start something completely new, right? Which it took me a while to build. Right now, in this moment, I know for sure that, right, you can be whoever, you can do whatever you want, right? You can be an astronaut if you want, but you have to take into consideration that it takes 2-3 years of hard work and not a lot of benefits in order to achieve a good like environment to get there, right? So I didn't knew that. I didn't knew this back then. It was very hard just leaving everything behind, right? I think that that's the biggest thing. And the fear of failure in the end. I mean, I can't say that it was that crazy, because I had friends and I had people that I saw they risked a lot and they had a lot of success, but it is that fear of failure, right? Like, what do I do if this is not going to work? And even if I said that I just did it because that this is one of my strengths, it still had a lot of thought process into it, and I had to wait, right? Like, okay, I'm in this safety zone, right? If for Romania $500 is not crazy bad, I can do $1,000. With $1,000, I can afford what everybody's affording here, right? Buy a car, buy a house, grow your 2 kids, and go to a holiday once per year, right? Like, that's the ideal world. And I had to put that into the thought process and get over it, right? So I think that was the limitation, the main thing, but I just passed it easier because of the way I am.
And who's this type of business for? Like, who should do this and who should not do this?
It's not for lazy people that are not willing to put in the work, or people who really like to take things for granted. I know stories. I mean, there are people who just start a business and they are successful immediately after a few months, and they are very good implementers. There are people who they have another, like a bigger learning curve, but it's all about one, motivation. You want to change something, you want to do something differently. You have to be patient, right? So you have to have that dose of patience, because in the end you want to grow a business, right? You don't know anything about businesses, and you want to grow a business, so you have to learn a lot of things if you have nothing to do with it before. So motivation, patience, like sanity. It's always
I like sanity.
Yeah, sanity. What this means, you have to be a good person in the end, right? To be very honest, when I started this, I don't know, I'm just doing marketing things, right? Now, after a couple of years, I'm seeing things as a, hey, it's a business. I have to benefit, I have to service people, I have to help people. In the back, when I started, it was, I have to do some Facebook ads, I just need some clients, let's see what I'm doing, right? So it's about, wanting to do good in this world, right? Because if you're not helping your neighbor and you're just a selfish bastard, it will be harder to do it, right? So it's more of an, if you don't like your situation right now and you are willing to put the work and you're a hardworking guy and a great implementer, definitely is doable. You must be a guy that is using his brain and is not like, he doesn't like to like take orders and do small things. If you're that kind of guy that like to be given a task list and you just do your small thing there, you shouldn't do this. You have to have that awareness.
I agree with this. This is the best one, by the way. Like the people who want their like a task list, and they work on a task list and they get the next task list. No chance, man. Zero chance success in business. It's not like we don't have steps, right, to build a business, especially for beginners. It's not like we don't have that, because of course we do. Of course, that's what beginners get, is steps to take early on. But it's not going to be like step 1, create this account. Step 2, fill in your name. It's not like, that's not steps. Steps are a little bit more, a little bit more broad than that.
I can give an example.
Yeah.
If I know you log into Gmail one time, giving like a random thing, right? And then you get like a small error or something. If you're not able to just go on Google and Google how to fix this issue on Google, right? Like the small thing, and you just stop and you look like that and say, help is not working, somebody help me. It's not for you. I got this so many times.
Sorry,
not on myself, but
Google, people who can't use Google. Sorry, I don't teach people how to Google. I can't. Yeah. Although there's definitely, there are like 10,000 levels of Googling, right? But basic Google skills, like how to resolve a Gmail issue, yeah, you have to be able to Google that. Because we're not going to help with that. We're going to help with many things, but not that. So yeah, like we're focused on business skills, right? Not like basic internet skills and basic Google skills, because you don't need, like anyone who needs to learn basic Google skills, probably not cut out for business, to be honest, probably not cut out.
Yeah, and besides this, and I think this is very important because these people, right, which I just said, who can't, like, or they don't Google and they just freak out and they ask for help, or people who are Googling, right? It's just an example, like an extreme example. Anyhow, on the way they are built, if you take this person that is freaking out and you put it in a business perspective, he won't feel comfortable, he won't like it. And on the other way, if you put a businessman into that position and just give him like small tasks, and he won't feel comfortable. So it's a way of how do you like things to be handled, because there's nothing wrong with having some tasks and working on them. And the world, it's such a better place because there are people for like all types of people that are doing all types of stuff. So
yeah, like businesses for people who are fairly intelligent and want to work on something that's harder, more interesting, has an infinite possibility and potentially infinite complexity. Although early on we make it simple, of course. But yeah, people need to understand that before getting into business. But yeah, very good. Thank you, Flavius. And for everyone else watching this, my name is Aleksander Vitkin. This is Flavius, who's a member of Business Mentor Insiders, which is our program where we teach people how to build an online agency, marketing, tech, and creative agency. So if you're interested in this, go to businessmentor.com. And as for Flavius, see you on the calls, Flavius. Bye-bye.
have a great day.